You guys asked for more, so I'm giving you 12 more Hallelu secrets you didn't know existed. Number 1. Fast supplies. Supply drops take 1 minute and 10 seconds to reach the ground from the moment they have been called in. I'm about to show you how they can reach the ground in just a matter of seconds from the moment the plane drops them. First things first, in order for this to work, you need to have the ammo drop available. After it becomes available, make sure you place the supply drop and the ammo drop exactly in the same place like this, then call them in at the same time. The ammo drop and supply drop will hit each other in the air, making the parachutes disappear. And just like that, in a matter of about 3 seconds, your supply drop has reached the ground. Now, the problem with this trick is that it only works for the German and British factions, probably because their supply drop models are kind of similar. I've tried it on the US and Soviet factions as well and couldn't get it to work. I also tried doing this with an airhead, but still the same result, it did not work. So if you are a German or a British commander, have fun. Number 2. Locking vehicles. Are you tired of blueberries stealing that half-track that you just parked in a perfectly hidden spot and using it as a taxi to the front line? Well, you guessed it, I got the solution just for you. While exiting any type of vehicle, simply hold spacebar. This will pull the handbrake of the said vehicle and lock it in place. Now, any player who wants to unlock it has to simply jump back in the vehicle and press spacebar again, releasing the handbrake. Veterans call it locking a vehicle because most new players don't know about the handbrake feature and this can stop them from doing dumb stuff. Well, now that I think about it, maybe including this in the video is not a good idea. Number 3. Anti-tank guns inside houses. You can build AT guns inside buildings. Yes, that's right, but it only works on Stalingrad. Now, similar to the placing OPs inside houses trick that I showed you in my last video, this only works in a handful of buildings, but I believe it can be really useful, especially in offensive games. Some experienced players know that this is the perfect building to build an AT gun in. Why? Well, because it covers a really good portion of the middle of the map, and besides blowing up tanks and trucks, the gun can also be used to spot and take out enemy garrisons and OPs. Trust me, it works better than you would expect. Just be careful and make sure to not have anything in front of the barrel when you build the AT gun. I learned that one the hard way. Number 4. Invincible supply drops. Because we already are on Stalingrad, I want to show you another trick. If you used to play as a commander, you know the pain of placing a supply drop in enemy territory and as soon as it lands, it gets destroyed. Well, there is a way around this issue. If you place a supply drop over a building that has its roof destroyed, like this one for example, the supplies will fall inside of it and no one can get to them and destroy them. After that, feel free to place your garrison anywhere around this building. This also works on Carentan. You can easily place a supply drop in areas like these where players have no way of getting into. And I'm sure there are plenty of other places like this on all of the other maps. Let your imagination flow. Number 5. Half-tracks can carry supplies. I promise this is my last tip about supply drops, but this can be really helpful to know. You can carry supply drops in the back of the half-track. This is a lot easier to do if you play as the US or Russian faction because their supply drops are a lot smaller than the German and the British ones. Simply place a supply drop over a half-track and after it lands inside of it, feel free to jump in and start driving around. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that even though vehicles can drive through fences, small brick walls and trees, the supply drop still has collision. So, if you don't want to get a half-track stuck and lose an entire supply drop, I suggest only driving on roads and through open fields. Number 6. Binoculars can be used as a scope. As an officer or as a commander, you can actually use your binos to snipe like a sniper. The binos have no sway or breathing effect. Simply place this middle dot on the enemy's head that is sitting still across the way, pull out your weapon, aim and fire. It's pretty useful against machine gunners and snipers. Number 7. Carentan crossing. A few updates back, the drown timer was 8 seconds instead of 6, and on Carentan a good strategy was to cross this body of water, set up a garrison, and from here flank the enemy team. Now people argue that because the drown timer has been reduced to 6 seconds you can't do this anymore, which is false. I've tried it from both the US and German side and this is still doable. Your transport or supply truck gets almost destroyed, but you can quickly drop your supplies and set up a garrison before the truck explodes. I've also tried doing this with the recon vehicles, but because their speed is with 3 kilometers lower than the speed of the trucks, you can make the crossing in time and you will drown. Infantry usually uses this crossing made from boats to get from one side to the other, but surprise surprise, you can also use this crossing to move tanks from the German side to the US side. I first saw this clip on Reddit posted by Johnny Rage. I couldn't believe my eyes, but this guy managed to cross over those boats with a Panther.
What the fuck are you doing?
Going for a swim, I think?
The gunner and tank commander seemed a little confused, but Johnny here knew what he was doing.
Oh, there's a tank somewhere.
No,
Oh.
not that one. Oh my days, okay.
Remember what I said I was gonna do some crazy shit? I wasn't joking.
I'm sure their commander was having a heart attack. So I knew this was possible, but of course I had to try it for myself. My first attempts were with a Puma. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. No. No, I thought this would have been easier because it has an automatic transmission. Oh no, stop. Stop. Yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, it's over. I really wanted to show you guys that I can also make this crossing, so I grabbed the Lux tank and in my first attempt I actually did it. Now, because you know this, please go and practice it before you do it in a live game and send all your team's armor to the bottom of the lake. Number 8. Switching to your flare gun is faster than reloading. I'm not sure how many of you know this, but you can actually kill players with a flare gun. Yep, that's right. One thing to keep in mind is that for some strange reason that I have yet to figure out, it does not always one-shot people. Fun. He's not dead. God damn. And also, I feel like in certain circumstances, it just goes through the player that you are trying to shoot. What? But maybe that's just me being bad at the game.
There must be a garrison or something
What the
around, I think, 'cause they keep
Not
coming
again,
from
man,
there.
in the same place. Oh. Anyway, this can be really useful as a last resort weapon.
Thank you.
Number 9. Garrison spawns. You spot an enemy garrison, you move in to take it out, and your heart starts beating faster and faster as you get closer and closer. Why? Because you know that at any point in time it can spawn 10 enemies that will blow your head off in a second. Would it help if you knew which direction to attack the garrison from so you don't get spotted immediately as they spawn? I think so. Players that spawn on garrisons always spawn facing the next objective that they have to attack. Keep this in mind when you stumble across your next enemy garrison, and taking it out will be a lot easier and stress-free. Number 10. Yellow houses. You find them all over the Stalingrad, Kharkov and Kursk maps. When you go inside them, you can clearly see there is an upstairs, but how can you get up there, you may ask? Well, the trick is to simply jump jump on this furnace, then jump again on this ledge here, and just like that you are upstairs. The furnace jump can be a little tricky at first, but after you find a sweet spot you will be able to do it every time, and yes, this works in every yellow house in the game. It's a perfect place for a marksman. Number 11, Cranes. Speaking of marksmen, Carentan and Real are the maps that have the most cranes in them, and I'm not sure if you know this, but you can climb on top of them. It doesn't require much parkour skill and you can get to the top fairly easily. They are great vantage points that can benefit snipers and even squad leaders or commanders when it comes to spotting enemy movement or garrisons. Number 12, Saboteur Engineers. Besides setting up mines and defenses, engineers can also dismantle enemy build defenses using their wrench. Simply crawl as close as you can to the enemy's defenses, take your wrench out and hold F to start dismantling. Of course, the fastest way to take out enemy defenses is by satcheling them, but if you don't have a satchel and need to get inside a heavily fortified objective, this is your last option. Number 13, Belgian gates. Belgian gates can only be built by German engineers, and besides blocking tanks and other vehicles, Belgian gates can serve another purpose. They can be used to boost players over walls, on top of roofs, and in other places that they should probably not be able to get on. Keep in mind that you do need 10 supplies to be able to build a Belgian gate. You can get those supplies from a support player, a supply truck, or a supply drop. These are all the secrets I know, but there's one other thing that Helleluz has plenty of and not many people seem to know: Easter eggs. If you want to see some of the most interesting Easter eggs in Helleluz, check out this video, you will not be disappointed.